Welcome to Oxford News This Week. I'm Terry Stiles.
And I'm Jimmy Hughes. Thank you for stopping by Oxford News This Week. Some of the headlines that are coming to you. Oxford schools report COVID-19 cases. Downtown goes teal. An M24 construction project pushed back yet again.
All that and more. The news begins right now. The M24 construction has yet again been pushed back. Once believed to be completed by mid-November, will now most likely be stretched out to early December. The announcement was made in a press release by the Michigan Department of Transportation. The press release said the remaining work to be completed includes roadway paving and underground sewer work, which requires flexibility in the schedule as it is greatly affected by the amount of underground utilities and weather. MDOT says one of the main culprits responsible for the delay has been unexpected utilities encountered while installing storm sewers. Currently, workers are installing a 71,000-foot, 18-inch diameter sewer line on the west side of M24. The project, which has experienced a few delays to this point, began in mid-April. Jim?
Clarkston resident Diane Glaza Helbling is spreading positivity around the downtown Oxford area. Diane helped with the Teal Ribbon campaign throughout the area recently as part of the statewide campaign to promote awareness of ovarian cancer and its symptoms. Teal is the color representing ovarian cancer, which is the deadliest gynecological cancer and one of the 5 leading cancer-related deaths among women in the United States. Sponsored by the Michigan Ovarian Cancer Alliance, the campaign consists of volunteers tying ribbons to the lampposts in downtown areas and distributing awareness information to the local businesses. Diane has been raising awareness ever since she lost her close friend who fought the disease for nearly 2 years. Terry.
In other news, the Oxford Community School District has reported 8 new cases of the COVID-19 virus since school began on August 31st. Last week it was reported there were at least 5 cases, 2 at Oxford High School, 1 at Oxford Bridges School, 1 at Oxford Virtual Academy, and 1 presumed case at the Oxford Elementary School. Currently there are no reported staff cases. Jill Lamont, director of the district's safety operations for Oxford schools, stated the county epidemiologists have assured her there is no link between the student cases and, at this time, no evidence of transmission within the schools. The positive results were communicated quickly by the family and the students were held at home. Also important to note, the students have not been in school since early last week. All regular classes were able to continue as planned, and most students were still able to attend with the exception of those receiving specific quarantine directives.
The number of residents in both Oxford and Addison Townships requesting absentee ballots has skyrocketed. Ballots for the November election were sent out recently in both counties. In Oxford, over 6,000 ballots were mailed out to the residents who had requested them. According to the Communications and Grants Manager for the Oxford Township, C.J. Carnacchio, in 2016 there were 3,234 absentee ballots requested for the November election. Currently there are over 17,000 registered voters in the Oxford, which means nearly 36% of the voters requested absentee ballots. A lot of credit going on to the Oxford Township Clerk's office for pulling off the task of getting these ballots out to the voters. In case any residents have concerns about mailing their ballot in, last week Terry Stiles did a special absentee ballot PSA with the Addison Township Clerk Pauline Bennett, which can also be viewed on Oxford Community Television, YouTube, our Facebook page, and our website, OCTV.org, if you're having trouble finding out about your ballot. Terry?
Tremendous news for high school football fans as the stands will soon be seeing an uptick in capacity. Executive Director of the Michigan High School Athletic Association, Mark Ewell, sent a memo last week to the state's athletic directors and football coaches saying as many as 1,000 fans can be in the stands at outdoor football stadiums starting October 9th, which is this coming week. Stadiums can now seat up to 30% capacity, up to 1,000 people for smaller stadiums. Capacity will be less than 1,000. Yule cites Governor Gretchen Whitmer's latest executive order number 183 in allowing for more fans in the stands. Social distancing must be followed at all times for everyone except the athletes in active participation during the contest. Yule wrote in the 7-point memo, all athletes and spectators must continue to wear face masks. Jim?
The Oakland County Parks and Rec Department has approved a budget of nearly $30 million for the fiscal year of 2021. The budget places an emphasis on facilities, maintenance projects, excellent customer service throughout the 13-park system locally. Addison Oaks County Park was included for the couple of upgrades according to the OCC press release. The budget includes electrical improvements at the Addison County Parks Conference Center and upgrades to the disc golf course at Addison County Park. The budget was approved by the Oakland County Parks and Recreation Commission at the September 2nd meeting and approved by the Oakland County Board of Commissioners. That was on September 23rd. Terry?
Well, that's it for Oxford News this week. If you'd like to learn more about these stories and others, you can pick up a copy of the Oxford Leader newspaper, or you can go to our the Chartered Township of Oxford Facebook page, or you can catch us on Charter Channel 191, AT&T Channel 99, or our website, OCCTV.org, YouTube, and Facebook. Sorry, Jim.
We are everywhere. Anyways, hey, we want to say special thanks, and somebody who came in on their birthday, Alex, our director in the back. Thank you, Alex. Happy birthday to you. And again, we thank you for watching Oxford News this week, where we bring your news closer to home. Two important announcements. Oxford did really well in their football game, and it was awesome. You can catch that on our channel here. Yep. It's good to see that maybe people are going to be coming back to the stands.
Yes, nice.
And looking forward to that. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great week. As I always say, I bring one in. This is an important piece of equipment. Maybe wear your mask wherever you can, and make sure to take care of yourselves.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Welcome to Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from Automotive News. In our first story, U.S. traffic deaths fell during the coronavirus lockdowns, but drivers engaged in riskier behavior as the fatality rate spiked to its highest level in 15 years, a government report shows. NHTSA found the fatality rate jumped to 1.4 deaths per 100 million vehicle miles traveled in the 3 months ending June 30th, the highest since 2005. At the same time, overall traffic deaths fell by 3.3% to 8,870, while U.S. driving fell to about 26%, or 302 fewer over the same period in 2019, according to the report reviewed by Reuters. NHTSA's study showed drivers who remained on the roads engaged in more risky behavior, including speeding, failing to wear seatbelts, and driving under the influence of drugs or alcohol. By contrast, the fatality rate for 2019 was just 1.1 deaths per 100 million miles, the lowest rate since 2014, as traffic deaths fell by 2% to 3,696. Traffic data showed average speeds increased and extreme speeding became more common. Data from some states suggested that fewer people were wearing seatbelts during the lockdown. In short, the stay-at-home orders may have led to the population of drivers during the height of the health crisis to have been smaller but more willing to take risks, NHTSA found. NHTSA also noted that in the wake of the outbreak, enforcement of some traffic laws were reduced. It's possible that drivers' perception that they may be caught breaking the law was reduced, the report found. NHTSA also said that since coronavirus risks are higher for older Americans, that could have minimized driving by more risk-averse drivers. And on the recall front, Ford is recalling more than 700,000 vehicles in North America because of a poor electrical connection that may cause the rear-view camera to display intermittently a blank or distorted image during increasing the risk of a crash. The recalled vehicles are from the 2020 model year and include certain Ford Edge, Escape, Expedition, Ford F-150s, F-250 SDs, F-350 SDs, F-450 SDs, F-550 SDs, Mustang, Ranger, and Transit vehicles. The 2020 Lincoln Corsair and Nautilus are also part of the recall. The action affects over 620,000 vehicles in the U.S. and over 76,000 in Canada and 4,000 in Mexico. The automaker said it's not aware of any accidents or injuries related to the defect. Dealers will be notified starting November 7th and will replace the rear view camera free of charge. Owners will be notified by mail starting November 7th. Well, that's it for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and we'll be right back. Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from New Scientist. Astronauts on the moon would face nearly 3 times more radiation than those aboard the International Space Station, which could make long-term missions rather riskier than thought. Once you have survived being on the moon and come back to Earth, radiation damage is what stays with you for the rest of your life, and that's why this is a critical measurement, says Robert Wimmer-Schweingruber at the University of Kiel in Germany. Wimmer-Schweingruber and his team analyzed several weeks of data acquired by China's Chang'e 4 lander, which became the first spacecraft to land on the far side of the moon last year. Part of the reason for this mission and other missions to the moon is preparing for human presence, he says. But the high levels of radiation detected present an additional challenge for future long-term lunar missions, says Wimmer-Schweingruber. The radiation we see right now is pretty high energy, and shielding against that is difficult. Wimmer-Schweingruber and his colleagues discovered that levels of radiation exposure on the moon were between 200 and 1,000 times higher than on Earth's surface, equivalent to levels of exposure 5 to 10 times those experienced during a flight from New York to Frankfurt, or about 2.6 times higher than those experienced by astronauts on the International Space Station. What astonished us was the amount of neutron radiation, which is due to neutrons and gamma rays, says Wimmer-Schweingruber. That's something we are investigating further. There is still uncertainty on whether this increased level of exposure to heavy charged particle radiation will have significant short or long-term impacts on human health, says Jeff Chancellor at Louisiana State University. If you wanted to live on the surface of the moon, you'd want to dig down pretty deep or cover yourself with a lot of lunar dirt, says Wimmer-Schweingruber. He estimates that astronauts staying on the moon for 2 or 3 months would need a habitat covered with an 31.5-inch thick layer of lunar dirt to protect them. So much for those pretty pictures. Well, that's it for this edition of Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny.
Buy a best friend. You can love them, pet them, care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture, you can jump, yell, you can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. 'Cause we're connected.
It's been a record-breaking season for the girls' golf team at Oxford High School. Bill Service took some time to catch up with head coach Gretchen Gabler and the young team, which features 11 freshmen.
David, we're so excited today with the coach right from the golf ladies golf team, and she's been years and she does a great job. Her name is?
I'm Gretchen Gabler.
Tell us, how's the season been going this year?
Season's been going great. We started out strong. We had a record turnout of 30 girls come out this year. We have 11 freshmen. It's very exciting to see the program growing and getting stronger and bigger.
That's outstanding. And with the other thing going on, the last match is coming up pretty soon. Is something that's going on, award ceremony or something?
We have our first annual senior night tomorrow after our Athens match at Metamora.
And the last game will be?
Our last duel is against Avondale Monday the 5th at Metamora, and then we have regionals on October 7 at Twin Lakes.
And hopefully we'll see you there.
Be great. Thank you.
This is,
Lexi Yankee.
and how have you done with your golf this year?
Oh, not too bad. It's my first year. I'm a freshman.
A freshman? Oh, great. Good year. How's your best score so far this year?
9, and it was a 48.
And other people better than me. That's pretty exciting. You know, it's good to see you, though. Nice to see you.
Thank you. You too.
And see you next year.
Yeah, for sure.
One of our great little golf girls, her name is Gaby. We know Gabby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we know you from softball?
Yeah.
I thought so. Tell us about how you done so golf so far.
I've been doing really good. I've played in 2 tournaments. I shot a 48 last time I played, so I hope to shoot good again. So yeah.
That's pretty darn good. Better than I can do. Good to see Gabby.
It's good to see you too.
There's a lot of excitement with this golf team, so keep your eyes open and expectations high. For OCTV Sports, I'm Dave Siseski.